Hey there, come along with me as I do some tax sale research for some upcoming auctions in the state of Florida. So I'm going to show you exactly the process that I go through when I see a tax sale list for the very first time. So what you see on your screen now, this is Miami-Dade tax sales. I don't actively invest there too often, but I do like to browse their list just to kind of see what they are selling. So as you can see, they have both the foreclosures and the tax deeds on the same website. It's run by a company called Real Foreclose. They handle the software and they do a lot of the tax sales for a lot of different counties in the state of Florida and a few other states as well. So we are going to click on the tax sale that's occurring. We'll do next week's tax sale. And we'll see if there's anything interesting. I have not seen this list, and I don't know if there's anything good on it, anything bad on it. I have no idea. I don't even know if it's going to even load for us. So we'll go ahead and let's see if we can reload this. There we go. All right. So you do have a number of properties on here. Looks like there's one page, and you have a few properties that have been redeemed as well. So there's a few pages few properties that I see on here, and a few things. Right off the bat, I see this one, assessed value $345,000. Now, I've talked about this before. I don't use that for determining my bid amounts or anything like that. I do, however, take a look at it to see if there's anything that will pique my curiosity. If it's assessed at $345,000, then odds are it's got some value to it. Same thing here. But if these said something like $500 or $100, those are probably properties that you don't want to mess with. Let's go ahead and we will research a few of these just to kind of get an idea of what is being sold. So, I'm going down here. I'm looking at this lien holder. I see City of Miami Gardens. I see Miami-Dade Water and Sewer. Right off the bat, this tells me that there are probably some liens against the property from the county. I would have to do more digging to figure out exactly what they are, but more than likely there's going to be liens against the property just because they have, it literally says lien holders, City of Miami. And of course, when you buy a tax sale property, the mortgages and stuff like that, we're not concerned with because those are going to be wiped off during the tax foreclosure process. However, the governmental liens will remain and those will become your responsibility. Let's quickly look at the property appraiser's website. And while that is loading in the background, I'm also going to go ahead and just copy this and search it in Google to see what pops up for us. See if anything interesting pops up. Okay, so I don't really see too much that is interesting about this property. Sometimes I've seen some crazy stuff there. I've seen, murder scenes, houses that have burnt down. There's lots and lots of crazy stories when you do Google stuff, but I don't see anything right off the bat. That looks like this cute little house here. Got some AstroTurf grass down. Let's see. All right. There's 2 living units. That's interesting. 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 1 floor, 1,591 square feet. Looking at the history of this property. So they have a number of different things that have been recorded against it. They also did a deed in lieu of foreclosure back in 2011. Let's see. They are calling this a duplex. 1 building, it's a duplex. Let's see if the sketch will pull up for us. So we got, it looks like a building. Okay, so you have something in the front and then you have in the back, perhaps. Interesting. Okay. Interesting building. Don't see anything too crazy. Built in 1936. And looks like they've added on since then. Just looking at this, it looks like, it's in a. Okay, so that's what they're calling the dupe. Okay, so you have a property back here. And you have this property up here. Got some bars on the windows and stuff, which isn't always the most exciting thing to see. But, just looking around, looks like there could be some value in this property. The opening bid on this property is $17,000. So, yeah, you're definitely making money at $17,000. Let's see what Zillow says. And I don't really put a whole lot of, yes, I am a person. If it lets me click, there we go. I don't put a whole lot of value on the Zillow estimates of value and that kind of stuff. But I do like to take a look for this reason right here, because you have some photos. They're saying it's worth 416. Whether it is or not, I don't know. It's kind of irrelevant. We'd have to look at the comps in the area. But looking at the photos, that's kind of what I like, because it gives you a better feel for the area or for the property. So, you know, it's obviously a small place. Some tile. Don't see anything crazy about it. So at least at the time these photos were taken, which we'll figure out exactly here in a second. At that time, at least, it looked like the property was in somewhat decent condition. That will probably be the last time the property was listed, which was when it was a rental, easy to rent, 2-1 duplex. Okay, that's good information. Central location, of course. Yep. So that was 2014. That was 11 years ago. Looks like they were getting $1,300 a month when it was originally listed. Okay, that's good information to have. Now, whether this property is worth anywhere close to the tax assessed value of $345, I don't have any idea. I have to do some more research and look into it. But yeah, I mean, that could be a property that there has some potential, at least at the opening bid amount. Let's go to the current auction here. Oops. All right, so this is, let's go back where we were. All right, so let's look at one more. 380. Let's look at this one for 479 with the opening bid of 26,000 and change. And again, this is kind of just a very basic review. This is kind of what I do when I first look at a tax sale list. Look at the property appraisal report. We got this here. Be careful, because look what you see right here. You've got the same address, 2 different houses though. So be careful when you use these photos. I'm going to say it's probably this one here off Zillow. But you have to be careful, because if you went to realtor.com, it's going to show you a photo of the wrong house. And obviously you don't want to base all your investment off of that. So we look at the property. We've got bungalow courts, multifamily, 2 living units, 3,300 square feet. That's a good size property. Lot size 7,000. Previously sold, not exposed to market. That's interesting. Pre-sold in 2016 for 175. Looks like somebody maybe flipped it or something. There's a corrective action. Let's see, corrective deed. Okay. Just looking at this. We'll see if the building. Okay, so you got a property here, property here. Interesting. It's an interesting property. We do have photos of it. Not sure where these photos are coming from. But we got basic photos, 3 photos. Let's scroll down and see if there's any sort of description or anything on this property. No description. It just says the basics of the property. So it was listed in 2017 for $339. Now that is 8 years ago. So that's pretty far removed. I mean, the property could be in much worse condition than it was back then. We don't know. But nonetheless, I mean, you're looking at an opening bid of $26,000. You're going to make money on this property for sure if you get it at that. Anywhere south of $100,000, you'll make money. And probably a lot more than that. Again, if you're going to determine your max bid amount and stuff like that on this property, you want to take a look, drive by the property, make sure the property's still standing, make sure the property's didn't burn down or get demolished, anything like that. And also you want to check out the area to make sure the area is not in substantial decline. Then you want to, of course, pull some comps and that kind of thing. So let's go back. Let's look at a different county now. Let's jump to, let's do Putnam County. All right, so this is Putnam County, and they've got a few subdivisions that actually make up the bulk of the properties that are sold at the tax sale. So let's take a look. This will be tomorrow's tax sale, which will probably be the day this video gets posted or the following day. But let's take a look and see what we've got, just for your curiosity. Like 1,800, 1,600, 2,000, 1,600, 1,400, 15 pages of these. That's a lot of properties. 1,100, 1,100. Let's click on this. I'm going to, let's see if this will open for us. I'm actually going to put this in a different browser because for whatever reason, their GIS does not like Chrome. So we will go here and let this zoom in for us and see what we're looking at. So this is an area where there's it's kind of a rural area. At least the county is. There's a lot of subdivisions out here that just were never built up. We're going to look at this and see what this one specifically looks like. Base map 2023. We have our sales data here. Okay, so the square is going to be the vacant. So here it is. I mean, it's a dirt roads. You've got a few houses randomly. You got a lot of vacant lots, though. If we were to click on some of these vacant lots, I don't know, but my suspicion is there's a lot of properties that have sold on tax sales. All right, so this one here. Okay, so somebody paid $149 for this. I'm assuming that is $3,400 to $149. I'm guessing they built a house on there, perhaps Orange Blossom Manor. In a matter of, let's see, 08, 9, 10. Oh, maybe they didn't sell a house, but $3,400 to $149 seems pretty. That's a massive return. I'm guessing there's something else going on there that's a little bit fishy, perhaps. You look at this one though. This one sold in March at a tax deed for $1,400. Let's see what else we got. We'll open this one up and see when this one last sold. All right, so this one sold at a tax deed sale, again, $3,600. Prior to that, it sold in 1986. So you're clicking around. Let's see if this one sold. This one also sold at a tax deed sale, $3,600 last month. This one down here sold at a tax deed sale a couple months ago, $4,000. The problem that we have here is you have an area where people don't pay their taxes, which means the area is not ever going to be stable and still, until people start paying those taxes and until people start valuing the properties in here. So you have properties that go through tax foreclosure after tax foreclosure. Here's another tax deed back in May, $5,900. So this entire area is an area that's, there's so many properties in here that go into tax foreclosure time and time again. And that's kind of a big problem if you're looking at investing there, because your comps are basically going to be nothing but tax sale properties. Now, the way people are making money in these areas, actually, so I switched browsers, but the way people are making money here is sometimes they're able to buy it for $1,500, $2,000, $3,000. They can throw it online and hopefully find somebody online, perhaps overseas, maybe from New York or California, or somebody that doesn't know the values in this area. They turn this $3,000 into $7,000, $8,000. If you can do that, and if you're seeing success, fantastic. That's good for you. And I would recommend you do it as long as you can. The problem, again, though, is we have 15 pages worth of properties like this. The majority of these properties are going to be the same situation. They're all pretty much the same opening bid, $1,100, $1,200. And that's just, it kind of puts you into a situation where at some point you're going to be the one left holding the bag, because you're looking at this GIS map and all these properties, besides that one that sold for $100 and some thousand, which I'm not sure what happened there. But a lot of these properties, they're selling. Tax deed, another one. 90% of the properties we clicked on, let's see if this one is, are selling through tax deed sales. So, those are your comps. Those are your values. Those are your neighbors of properties. This one sold. This is a repeat offender, a multiple time repeat offender, frequent flyer, $400 tax sale, $1,100 tax sale, $3,700 tax sale. These are properties that go over and over and over again into the tax foreclosure system. And until people start paying taxes there, this area is not going to be stable. You can hopefully find somebody that will buy it from you for a couple $1,000s more than you bought it for. But again, you might be left holding the bag at some point or another. So keep that in mind. Areas like this can be very risky. Let's go ahead and switch on over. Let's look at, let's do Flagler. That's on the coast. And let's see what we get here. They don't have too many that they're selling. Yeah, here's one from August. These are redeemed. Got a property sold. Looks like they had one property sold. The next auction is going to be this one in Hastings. Let's see what this is. We got some interesting parties here. Okay, so right off the bat, $483 assessed value. Probably not going to be good. Let's switch counties again. Let's go to, let's do Hernando County. I think I've done Hernando before, perhaps. I think actually a couple weeks ago we found a decent property on there that was on a canal, I want to say. But anyhow, let's look for next week's. We have this property in Brooksville. Opening bid looks good. Let's see what this one's all about here. So the estate of James Bush owned it. Not all that uncommon. The legal description is a little bit weird because it's Part A approved by planning department. Okay. I'll do a little more research on that one if you really wanted to invest in it. All right, so here's the information. Let's see. We got $63,000 assessed value, valuation, $50,000 assessed. You got the taxes here. Some sales data, not real whole lot there. It looks like it's a vacant property. Not much on this. Let's see if we can find some GIS information. So it's a decent sized property. It's obviously vacant, but it's got road frontage. Let's see. Let's see if we can pull the GIS map up, and then we will see if we can get a value of this property. Again, what was the opening bid? $4,500 opening bid. Maybe. I mean, it definitely, there's some value there for sure. Let's see exactly how much. All right, let's zoom out here. Just kind of scanning this information on the left here. Don't really see too much. That is, it is 2.6 acres. All right, so that's interesting. Let me see if they have a sales data. 2024 is their most recent sales. Let me see this property up here that's sold. Let's see if there's anything else nearby. Probably down here, which is quite a bit bigger than what we're looking at. Property, let's look at this one right here. That's going to be the closest, as actually it's a little bit smaller. Let's see if we can figure out what this sold for. Okay, so that's permit issue. Sales price $62,000 in 2025. There's another one right here. Let me scroll down for this one, see what this sales price is. And they were at 1.5 acres, so it is certainly smaller. Sales price $100. That's just a nominal placeholder. So just based off this one right here, that was definitely smaller and sold for quite a bit of money. Like, I mean, there's value here at the open bid of $4,500 for sure. Let's do one more here and then we'll call it. Got Wikiwachi, assessed value 14. Let's see if this is any good. Royal Highlands. Let's see if this will load for us. If not, we'll have to copy and paste the parcel number in. We'll just go ahead and copy and paste it because it's not loading for us like I would like it to. All right, so, and that's, again, that's not, if you see my videos, that's not uncommon at all. You click on links down here and they were not coded correctly, or this algorithm didn't pull the information correctly, or whatever it is, and it happens. So just deal with it because it's going to be very, very common. All right, so we've got $29,000 market value. Just looking at this, we got some sales data. Okay, so I had a tax deed. So this 4.7, that's probably when the original developer bought it. Trustee deed, warranty deed, and it sold for tax deed in 2019 for $6,300. No buildings. All right, so let's take a look at this GIS map and figure out exactly what we've got. All right, so right off the bat, I do see it. It looks like it's fronting on a road. It looks like a paved road. Looks like you have a nice home here. You have a building pad being poured just below it. Not sure when this area was from, but a fairly new pad here. You got a house here with a pool. These are newer homes, that's for sure. That's good to see. You got a house over here, looks good size. I'm guessing the road behind it is maybe a access alley or something. But yeah, these are good little properties here. These little lots like this that you have building in nearby, very, I mean, that's kind of an ideal purchase. So let's look and see if we've got any vacant lots around here. All right, so this over here is obviously too large for us. It's not going to be a comp because it's substantially larger. This is a good comp right here, if we can get that to load for us. All right, so we scroll down. Let's see if this sold for 0.90 acres. Okay, so unfortunately, this was a $100 nominal sales price. Maybe somebody transferred it during a divorce. Maybe they transferred it to another family member, cleared some title issues, whatever. That's just well, that $100 is more of a place figure than a placeholder than anything else. You got a couple lots over here. You got this lot right here. Let's see if this property is sold and what it sold for. So let's see, $48,000, January of 2025. Let's click on these over here now. So we got a $48,000 comp. All right, so over here, and I'm looking, I don't know if you can tell where my cursor is, but it's clicking on this lot right here in the bottom. We scroll down, sales price $455,000. So that's probably going to be a new home that they've constructed, is my assumption. Let's click on this lot right here next to it. Usually when you see values like that, and they jump from 48,000 to 455,000, that's a really good sign that there's a new construction property built. They're probably a spec home that somebody bought or built to make money off. This one sold for 30,000, so 30,000 back in July. So you have 30,000, 48,000. Let's see. Here's another vacant one. So 30 to 48, that's a good size range. Let's see if we can get one more comp. 48, this property. Where's my sales data? It's kind of hard to find the sales data on this one. So for 388, that's going to be another spec house that was built. And there's a permit. Yeah, that's okay. So that doesn't really count. So 30 to 48 is kind of what we're looking at for that property. I would like to find at least one more comp. If I got to scroll down a little bit. Yeah, it's going to be hard to make. There's a lot of houses here. So even if you say it's worth 30,000, which was the low end of that, at $3,400 opening bid, I mean, it's a 10x, nearly a 10x return on your money. So, you're looking at this. I do like this a lot. You've got the original, you got a developer building right next to the house. You got a pad on one side. You've got a newer house on the other. You've got pads going up here. There's some other, obviously we stumbled across multiple new homes that were just sold this year. And this is our property right here. Now, obviously you want to zoom in on this. You want to drive by it. I don't see any wetlands or anything like that, but you want to drive by it, make sure it's not the low spot of the neighborhood or anything crazy. But based on what I can see right here, it looks like a pretty good property. Something else you can do too is, we've got this property right next to it. Let's go and get on Google Street View and just take a look at that property that is right next to it. And that will kind of give us a good idea. So there's the house right next to it. Yep, matches up. This is the lot. Obviously, it's wooded. This is the property that we saw that went up in the aerial. There's the property. It doesn't look low on this photo, but, if you want to go back and kind of get a better idea, like 2019, look, there was a dirt road, fewer houses there. That house wasn't there. So obviously this is an area that is developing. This is an area that you would want to invest in, especially for vacant lots. If you're looking for vacant lots, this is the type of stuff that you're looking for. So, if I was to go back and look on their website, I don't know. I have to look at all these. My assumption is there's a few lots that are sprinkled in that particular area. Weeki Wachee, here's another one on Heth Court, Newsom Road. My assumption is because the assessed value is pretty similar. The parcel IDs are actually somewhat similar too. But my assumption is a few of these are going to be sprinkled around there. And those are the exact types of properties that you'd want to invest in. You're looking at this map, you've got new construction nearby. You've got builders that are actively building in this area. These are great properties to go and to pick up for, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Even if you spent $10,000 on them, turn right around, sell it to a builder the next day for $20,000, double your money. They can still save a few bucks, and they have a lot that they now have inventory control over. They can build a spec house on, they can sell it for a custom house. But these are the types of properties that you want to invest in because you can buy them and sell them very quickly and keep snowballing your money over and over and over again. That's the exact type of thing that I'm looking for when I review these tax sale lists like I'm doing right now. Again, this is a very informal thing. I'm just kind of clicking around to see what stands out to me. And those are the types of properties that stand out. Those are the types of properties that grab my attention and say, hey, come invest in me, because these are money-making properties. So hopefully you've learned something through this quick little informal video of me just kind of clicking around and showing you exactly what I do when I see a tax sale list for the first time. Now, obviously, if you're going to buy those properties or place business on those properties, you want to do your research. You want to either drive by the property yourself or send a scout to drive by it for you. Take a few photos of the property. You want to make sure that there's nothing like crazy high impact fees or building moratoriums or anything like that that would impact your investment. But otherwise, buy that property, sell it, make your money, and move on. Again, hopefully you enjoy this video. Hey, I'll see you next time on the Tax Sale Academy's YouTube channel. For more information, check us out at taxsaleacademy.com. Also, you can grab this free book right here, Tax Sale Playbook, at taxsalebook.com. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.